another glorious battle. Glad that's over.
Envoy? What are you... Huh. You're full of surprises. I was expecting someone else, but... I think this could work out better for both of us. I'd prefer Savior if we're handing out epithets. Once you hear my side, Envoy, I think you'll agree I was only trying to help. After a fashion.
Unbelievable.
They were a means to an end. Don't tell them that. Everyone likes to feel special. They were supposed to kill Verano, but... I guess they figured they could get more coin if they ran something back to us instead. Idiots. Unfortunately. I didn't want to, but he forced my hand. I thought I was clever. Skimming a little extra pay from the coffers, surveying the city's weaknesses, laying caches for my friends. But it was like Monato had eyes in the back of his head. Nothing got by him. I tried to explain, but he couldn't understand. Wouldn't. He'd completely closed his ears to reason.
So you killed him for it?
Poor bastard was always too principled for his own good. I'm preparing Emerald Stair for Adir's arrival, obviously. Your people have already pacified Paradise, with contracts and clean water, with promises of safety. I want to be safe. I want all of us to finally be safe.
You've got a hazy picture at best, Orso. The Envoy was still killed in the street, and Ludwine's idea of pacified is anything but.
And I know what empires do, Envoy. They expand. Your soldiers would have come here sooner or later. I'm helping us avoid resistance and bloodshed when they do. Fiori's wasting away, Envoy. Animancy isn't helping us anymore, if it ever did. But no one in the city wants to admit it.
So you murder your own?
Our crops rot in the fields, bears turn to beasts and attack on sight. The very earth disintegrates beneath our feet. I think it's time we accept help from someone stronger, wealthier, better organized. From Adir. Then we can turn things around like Paradis has. Maybe then we can be safe. But Vidarro, Quilici, Captain Asierno, they're too proud. They won't do what must be done. So I'm doing it myself. Fior simply cannot survive the way things are. Monato and Verano disagreed.
Then you disagree. You don't turn on your own.
Their voices had power in the Rangers. Too much power. And when they spoke, the others listened. Now they'll have to listen to me. I don't live in Adir, I don't want to. Emerald Stair is my home, and it's wasting away. I can only look after my people, get us what we need.
You've got a strange way of doing that.
Only Adir can help us now. Maybe that would be for the best. We've had decades to secure this valley. What do we have to show for it? Dead homesteads, dead farmers, dead fields. And a city full of animancers who don't give a single shit about us. It wasn't always like this. I wish you could have seen the valley I grew up in. The steep green hills, mist twining about the peaks. Birds, deer, the many little creatures of the trees scurrying among the leaves. Most of them gone now. Sometimes, in high summer, the sunset would catch the rice paddies just right, and the whole valley would glow coral violet. A world on fire with life, that never burned. We ate well and slept through the night. I don't want to live through this time if there's nothing better on the other side. I'm not an official asset, just an enthusiastic ally. But I did meet the captain of the Steel Garrote. Alfir, she said her name was. They appeared out of the fog a few nights ago, late, hours before dawn. There were so many of them, I was certain they were going to kill me. I was alarmed at first, but then I spoke to Alfir, and she changed my mind. Captain Alfir is strong, determined, organized. She's exactly what we need to save Fjord. She has a vision for how to save the valley from itself, a vision I can believe in. I found them a place to hole up. No one is going to find them until it's time. They're going to put a stop to the animancy. The animancy that's sickening our fields, driving the animals mad, polluting our souls. And maybe it will end the Dream Scourge. Then, Emerald Stair will be safe. They're not going to hurt anyone. The necessary killing has already been done.
You don't know the Steel Garrote, Dorso. They're not Adiran regulars or magistrates. They're zealots.
Once Captain Alfir explains to the Animancers what their work is doing to our people, they'll have to give it up. If they didn't tell you, they must have had a good reason. The Steel Garrote are holed up in a cave, just behind that waterfall over there. Some of them, anyway.
We should look into that.
I'm sure they'd appreciate your help.
About time.
New armor!
Good fighting.
I sincerely hope you have some good news for me. My gods, I can't believe this.
Ilia's wings uplift us.
She's been with the Rangers since she was a girl. She trained most of my men.
This is... Fotito. This is big, Asierno.
What happened to her? Where is she now? Without the trial? Good gods.
Frontier justice. That's what a traitor deserves.
Masoni, please. Where's her body now, Envoy?
I'll send a few of the senior rangers out to find her.
Thank you, Masso. What a nightmare. I don't know what I'm going to tell my men. A traitor in the Rangers. This situation beggars belief. Do you know why she did it?
Be serious, Envoy.
She was always talking about how we needed strength. Do you remember, Masso? More swords, more coin. And she complained that animancy wouldn't fix our problems. But I didn't think she had so little faith in Fior.
No one took her seriously.
Evidently, she was quite serious about it. I didn't want to believe it could be her. Gods beyond, what a mess. Thank you, Envoy. Ranger Monato has been properly avenged, and now I have a lot of work to do to rebuild my squad. Agreed. I need to be more careful with who I trust in the future. Here's your reward. It's the least we can do for your assistance. Thank you again. Step carefully out there. We are living through strange times.
I hope this at least lets them clean up their ranks. I still can't believe it. Dorso was betraying her brothers-in-arms, all in the name of saving Emerald Stair. At least she got what was coming to her. Well, yeah. But there are some lines you don't cross. Turning on your own people is one of them. You'd think that'd be an easy position to hold. But I've seen better soldiers than Dorso cross lines you can't come back from. I saw this in Rauatai's campaign in the Deadfire. You start out with purpose. You're fighting alongside your brothers and sisters, battling pirates and slavers, bringing civilization to a lawless, divided land. But then, you're breaking up villages, turning tribes against their rivals. It gets messy, fast. Empires are hungry, Envoy, and they devour their own too. Don't let your allegiances turn you into something you can't live with. It's been years. It was always green and overgrown, but I don't remember it being quite this. Yeah. Something about Emerald Stair has always been unsettling. Everything in the Living Lands grows wild, but it's different here. Those giant roots, whatever they are, I don't remember them being quite as big or close to the settlement. Well, there's a thought to keep me up at night.
Oh, the Living Lands definitely hates us. That's why people like me even get work.
I don't like reading that much into things. Maybe that's why I'm still a bachelor.
Is that what it is? That wasn't even on my list.
Either way, when I wake up with night terrors, I'm waking you both up with me. Not a whole lot, and I've been happy keeping it that way. Playing around with essence, poking at souls, trying to move them out of and into places they shouldn't be. Oh, it makes me queasy. Though, if we're going to understand the Dream Scourge and your godlike lineage, I suppose we'll have to get comfortable with it. Still, I'm happy to leave those pursuits to other people.
Exactly. Other people. People who are a safe distance away. No offense.
You have your point of view, and I have mine.
Not the same way adherents do. We've got no laws against it. I've just always felt more comfortable with things I can see and grasp for myself. Don't get me wrong, most animancers are nice enough people. But even nice people get strange ideas from time to time. I'll be here if you need me.
I can't believe it. Ranger Dorso, a traitor to Fior Messiverno. Shame we had to kill her. But at least now she can't hurt anyone else. The damage is contained, more or less. I'm glad you think so. Still, it's a shame. Dorso gave up on the dream of Fior Messiverno. Blamed animancers for the problems we tried to solve. And I hate to see anyone lose hope. That's all for now. Let me know if there's anything else. You know me. Always ready with an answer. Ah, you want a story? Very well. Settle in. It all started about 50 years ago, in the great city of Spirento. A young nobleman by the name of Maxim Vidaro sought to inherit a distinguished government position. Unfortunately, yes. A distant cousin cheated Maxim out of the title. He was devastated, his political future uncertain. No one lifted a finger to help. Not the banks, not the merchants, or the politicians. So, Maxim did what Valians do best. Something like that. Maxim plotted his revenge. They say he prayed to Scan, the effigy, god of rebellion and defiance, to ask for a blessing. And Scan answered. Take their best and brightest, their heirs, their scholars, their futures, to the far side of the world, never to return. And Maxim did just that. He gathered a following and left the Valian republics, giving thanks to his dark god. We prefer to call it an intellectual haven of free thinkers, but it's true that most of us are animancers. Spirento was full of animancers, many of them in debt, and Maxim was a wealthy patron. They needed each other. So the animancers followed Maxim all the way out here, including my parents, Quilici, and others around town. At the time, this place was an animancer's dream. No oversight, limited government, and soil rich with essence. 40 years later, Maxim vanished. They say the effigy came to collect his soul. Nonsense, of course. His son has been in charge ever since. For better or worse. I have good reason to be critical, but I also know his life isn't as easy as it looks. He and I might squabble in public from time to time, but we're both just figuring it all out as we go. Thanks for listening. We should do this again.
I love a good ghost story. Just not the dreams I have afterwards.
Hadn't heard all that before. Probably a lesson or two in there.
One of these days you'll have to tell me an Adiran ghost story. You learn a lot about people by what scares them. Let me think. Quilici has a girlfriend, as cute as a button, and as smart as an archmage. That isn't a secret. I'm just happy for him. No one has seen Estelle Vidaro in some time, and Ignacy refuses to talk about it. She was always very kind to me. I hope she's all right. Have you heard of the incident at Beldereno Pass? 20 settlers lost their lives in a winter storm. Ever since, people have heard ghostly cries from a nearby cave. Though lately, the cave has gone quiet. I hope their souls are at rest. Of course. Anything in particular? What do you want to know? Anyone in particular? I warn you, I'm not the best judge of first impressions. Kai is a useful fellow. We need people like him to keep you grounded. Just not too grounded. On the surface, Kai is all charm and confidence. You feel good knowing he's around. But there's something deeper. Something in his core that he guards from everyone. Maybe even himself. Oh, not at all. Kai is a sweetheart. And if that's who he chooses to show us, then that's who he is. If there's another side to him, he'll show us when he's good and ready. No need to rush a natural process. Marius is working through something. An old wound that hasn't healed. A search for forgiveness? Who knows? He's a tough fellow, but I wouldn't put too much pressure on him. Good question. Mental and emotional pressure, specifically. Marius could hunt the great western stag if he set his mind to it, but his own feelings elude him. When he wants to find himself, give him room to do so, but don't push him. Just be there to catch him. We haven't been together long, but I think I have you figured out. In Paradise, you have a reputation for being an unlawful misfit. This is the frontier, after all. We don't exactly do things by the book. Fior Messiverno tolerates you well enough. No doubt thanks to my influence. Of course, all I know is what you've done. You may not think these choices reflect who you are. At the end of the day, you shouldn't care what anyone thinks. All that matters is how you see yourself. I've spilled all the gossip I know. Ask me again when there's a new face in camp. I suppose you deserve to know, after what I put you through. My mother wanted to expand Fior's agriculture. Feeding Emerald Stair wasn't ambitious enough. She wanted to feed the world. She thought she could break the wilderness, using animancy as the whip. Turn the living lands into a garden. Anything's possible, but there are significant problems to overcome. After my father put the finishing touches on the phantasmal focus, she was impatient to get started. After all, Whoever controls the spirit of the living lands has nature in the palm of their hand. My father thought so too. Emerald Stair was just the beginning to her. My father thought she was brilliant. Others thought she was mad. I think she was a victim of her own ambition. She wanted so much, and there was so little time to achieve it. Theoretically, her plan should have worked. But the living lands had other ideas. When she used the phantasmal focus, theory collided with reality. Everything went wrong. I can't rule anything out, but I suspect the Dream Scourge had something to do with it. It lives in the essence of the living lands, corrupting whatever it touches. And if I'm right, that means it's been here a long time, or the forces behind it. No. To my knowledge, the accident was no everyday occurrence. But neither was the experiment. My mother transgressed on nature, on existence itself. Still, I don't understand what went wrong. When I do, then I can finish her work. I was 17. That makes it... Gods, has it been 13 years already? After they died, I wouldn't go near a lab. It was ages before Kolichi got me to crack open a book. I have a lot of catching up to do in my studies. Need to make up for lost time. My mother and father didn't know the risks, and I can't stop thinking about them. Caution and experience will stop us from repeating their mistakes. That's all I care to say for now. At least, about this topic. I thought my family's research could help Emerald Stair. That it could banish the Dream Scourge from our lands. Of course, Vidaro wouldn't even give me a chance. He was afraid of history repeating itself. Still, I'm hopeful. This legacy of mine could change Animancy as we know it. And something tells me I'm close to a breakthrough. Closer than my mother ever got. Good question. The idea of finishing my parents' work gives me a warm feeling. But do I want it? I know I've got one lifetime, and I want to do something with it. I'm glad you think so. Not that I need your approval, but I like knowing that I have it. This is the one life where I am Giada Castel, Animancer extraordinaire. In the next life, I could be an idiotic tree. I have an obligation to use the time I have. No Animancer has engineered an ecosystem before. Maybe, with a little luck, I could be the first. That little island off of Dawnshore? None that I know of. Ignato Castel led the Valian trading company in the Deadfire archipelago. Among other things, he invested in the future of Animancy, and apparently he had interests here. I hope not. I wouldn't want my family associated with speculation, corruption, and whatever else happened in the Deadfire. We have enough problems already. He had some ideas about moving great distances in the blink of an eye. As far as I know, he was unsuccessful. Animancy and ambition are a dangerous mixture. Intoxicating, but dangerous. Afraid not. I've heard a lot of contradictory stories coming out of the Deadfire in recent years. Some say Castel is still in power, while others think his second-in-command took over the Valian trading company. You know how it is. Wherever there's conflict, there's bound to be misinformation. Unfortunately, that's all I know. Whether or not Castel succeeded, I don't think it's folly to dream. Pleasant dreams. Between the two of us, thank you for helping Yatsli reach that vase. Maybe it seems like nothing to you, but To her, it's everything. When you consider how many Orlans and dwarves there are, it's outrageous that we build so high off the ground. She's very special to me. Don't let her size fool you. On the inside, Yatsley stands as tall as a mountain. One of these days, she's going to change the world, shake things up. And I'll be at her side, grinning like a fool. Anyway, thanks again. Pleasant dreams. I have a terrible feeling about this.
This must be the Steel Garrote camp Dorso mentioned. Be careful.
Welcome back. You are here to collect a bounty, huh? Whose death am I recording?
From the depths of my soul, I thank you. May their poor souls find peace in their rest.
Good. Outlaws living off the hard work of others deserve nothing less. Perfetto. Return when you have more to claim.
Welcome back! What can I get you? I only carry the freshest herbs, mind you, plucked from the best sources.
Right behind you.
Is that all you got?
Didn't that cartographer's letter say she was near not...
That's done? Who's hungry? Just a little spark. Charge it up.
Hey, you there? Need some... Salutations, traveler. Welcome to lovely Naku Tadek. It's seen better times, but it's still a marvel of ancient architecture. Oh, but I forget myself. I'm Alyssa.
We usually bring our dead to Naku Tadek, but for you, I'll make an exception.
So good. Nothing stopping me. My turn!
Who's next? Anyone?
Well, there are worse places to go.
Take your best shot!
We've got company.
Aye, aye. On your right! Let him through!
Did you hear that? Never mind.
We make a good squad. One for you!
Watch your right!
Here we go!
Let's finish this.
Nice!
This is a spiritual haven. Good. If you've come to Naku to deck for a funeral, I'm afraid you're late. Or early, perhaps?
We're actually here to conduct some research.
I see. Well, do remember that this is a holy site, and others may be meditating. Naku to deck dates back to ancient times. It was, and remains, a mausoleum of the soul. Unfortunately, godless ruins have a strong connection to the other side. They attract unwanted attention. The beyond, where souls travel after death. When my order first heard of this place, they sent us overseas to guide wayward souls into their next life. Strange. I don't think so. Death is the most ordinary thing in the world, second only to life. Reincarnation is not a perfect system. The flaws and inefficiencies are why the field of animancy exists at all. So, in accordance with Berith, we are midwives of a different labor, life into death. That's all I ask. Thank you, godlike.
Even death is a logical system.
I'm trying to work, but these mystics keep getting in my way.
I grew up in Emerald Stair. Used to think I'd die here, too.
Could we not just move the machines out of the way?
There should be some equipment by the Adra pillar.
We remember these walls. Yes, we have been here.
Well, here we are on the precipice of discovery. Armed and ready for mischief.
I'm 2 out of 3 anyway.
Before we get started, indulge me. What are you excited to learn about? Good. We're on the same page. Now, I'm going to tap into the pillar's dormant energy and give it a good shake. In layman's terms, I'm chumming the water and daring the Dream Scourge to show its ugly face. This is no time for hesitation. All right. Drawing on the energy of the phantasmal focus, I'll start with a low-frequency ethereal vibration. I've got nothing. You?
Like I could go for some pie.
Shit. All right, adjusting the frequency. The focus is warming up. I hope that's a good sign. Let me know if you feel something. Who knows how your godlike nature will react to this. Brace yourself. We're going to pin this bastard down.
Are you sure about this?
Don't worry, I'm a professional. Now, here goes nothing.
Souls in a circle, a whirlpool. We twine. We twine.
Hey, I think I got something. The focus twitched, like a fishing rod. Is that a door? Not the result I was looking for, but a result nonetheless. Don't be so sure about that. Remember, I'm an animancer, not a locksmith. Right before the door opened, I detected something in the Adra. I was right. The Dream Scourge has a point of origin. We can study the affliction from here, but I don't know that we can stop it. Oh dear. How do I explain? Imagine tossing a pebble and hoping it flattens a blade of grass on the other side of the world. That's what you're asking, and it won't work. If we want to stop the Dream Scourge, we still need to learn more about the source of the affliction. I hate to say it, but we'll get better results at the base of the pillar, where the energies are more potent. We shouldn't jump to conclusions. After you.
But we gotta see what's down there now.
Gods! Did you open that door? I've been praying here for ages. And in all that time, I've never found a way down to the lower levels. Not one. Who are you, stranger? Then I hope you find answers, and not merely more questions. When you're finished, maybe you could help a servant of the gods? While I was at prayer, a bandit held a knife to my throat and stole the reliquary of Saint Widewin. Just look at me. Gods, I'm still shaking. He fled west into the wilderness. There's nothing there but a Delimgan glade. If you find him, please, no more bloodshed. Vengeance will not make this right. May the light shine on you. May it shine on the thief as well. I will try to understand his motives.
This doesn't sound like any of the grave robbers I know. Not that I know any grave robbers.
A saint's relic. Where would you even find something like that?
I did not bring us here to explore, but clearly something wants to be found.
Does this feel like the start of a cautionary campfire tale to anyone else?
I wonder, did you open the door? Or did the door open for you?
Unseen, unheard.
Incredible. These ruins are untouched. We are the first to disturb them. When was the last time anyone walked these passages? It must have been centuries. No, millennia. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll talk more once we reach the bottom.
Protect the envoy!
Bad envoy! On your right!
Nothing like a win with a good team.
I can start that generator for you. Just say the word.
Here it comes.
No! The knife that pierces in the dark.
Whatever this is, at least it's dead. 2 points for the godless, none for the abominations. Watch your head. There's a trap right above it. That'll show him. Beautiful. Life into death. To think it survived all these years.
It's surprisingly colorful. Not sure what I expected.
We've seen godless architecture before. I've never seen godless art until now. Just imagine how much has been lost. We should keep moving. I don't mean to slow us down. I would not go swimming if I were you, unless you wish to meet your maker. There must be a way across. If not underwater, perhaps over it, with the help of some ice.
Come on! Come on!
What in the name of Aora is that?
You, think it's sleeping?
I've never seen anything like it before. I don't believe it's a statue. No, this was alive once. And the people who lived here were terrified of it.
Never a dull moment with you in charge.
Kai,
Can't keep me down. Death into life. Interesting. The godless clearly had some ideas about reincarnation, even if they didn't have a god.
Every other culture I've come across reveres the gods. Even if they...
Looks like quite a party. Let's break it up. How do they eat? They even get down here. Clever things must have their own secret entrance. I'll say it. This will require another soul for the wheel. Patience, I'm almost ready.
Coming from your right. I got this.
If there are any monsters left, show yourselves. Some of us have work to do. I guess that means we've backed the Dream Scourge into a corner. I say we pin it down here and now, before it wriggles away from us. The last time we tried this, you felt something, yes? Maybe it had to do with your godlike nature. Try making contact with the Adra this time. It could only help. The effect should be stronger than before. Brace yourself.
You are here. You who bring us kind words and soothing thoughts, we welcome you. The mourners are gone now. Only the memories remain. We once belonged to the green and the wild. A people lived there once. They loved us as we loved them. They brought their dead to us. We used to dip our fingers, wade in the confluence of souls. We dream, the land stirs. We become. They brought their prayers to us. We answered. We do not remember how we grew. Our eyes opened. We were the earth, the sky, many into a whole. We touched the mountains and they molded to our fingerprints. The Akita twined around us. They sang in awe of what we made. They called us the gardener, steward of life. Sapadal. Our spark found you when you dreamed in the womb. Godlike, they said. But we have felt in you the seed of connection. We have sought you, called to you. And you reach back. We have not known the joy of companionship in so long. We feel it too. Our hands are bound. Find us. Free us. The rot that festers seeps into us as well. Our cage is far from here, buried in the garden, beyond the poison sea. Your words are comfort indeed. Go to the halls of the Tabaru Sinakis. We will try to explain. Those who cherish us, the chosen of the Akida, wait there. They will show you the way to the garden, to our prison. We will cleanse this rot with you once our hands are unbound. Find us in the garden. We twine, we await. First, let us offer you a sliver of our power, a boon to help you survive and find us. Will you accept it? Take it with our blessing. Now hurry to the halls of the Tabaru Sinakis. Bind us. Free us.
You're awake. Finally. We really pushed the phantasmal focus to its limits.
You were out a long time. We gotta start bringing pillows.
For a second there, I thought... Actually, never mind what I thought. Actually, I thought your soul had been blasted to 1,000 pieces. But I'm happy to be proven wrong. While you were out, I got some clear readings of the Dream Scourge. I've tracked its origin to the center of the Living Lands, somewhere deep in the untouched wilderness. You've heard of it. Fascinating. Maybe someone knows about this garden of yours. If we find the garden, we can cut off the Dream Scourge at its source. I hesitate to bring it up, but you were muttering while you were out. Had quite a lot to say. Whatever you were communing with, it had a spiritual energy I've encountered before, though only in traces. It must be connected to the Dream Scourge. Perhaps they share a similar origin. Yes, Sapadal. Who are they? What are they to you? I'm sorry? Sapadal is a god? But that's impossible. How could we have missed this? You never heard them before? Not even in your childhood? Only when you arrived on these shores? A trapped god. Trapped. And you spoke to them through the Adra. Maybe that tells us something. Not the Adra itself, but how it comes together. We've long theorized that all Adra is connected, but that changed when Animancers came to the Living Lands. The Adra here is severed from the rest of Eora, connected only to itself, or so we believe. If Sapadal speaks and works through Adra, then the Living Lands is their prison, their tomb. Now that is a tall order. We know the Dream Scourge is coming from this garden of yours. Maybe Sapadal can help us fight it. A little divine intervention couldn't hurt. The real question is, where do I start? Doesn't ring a bell, but maybe someone's heard of it before. We'll find the source of the Dream Scourge in the garden, but we have to find the garden first.
Then that's where we start.
Let's return to Fior Messiverno. Banished or not, maybe I can squeeze a few answers out of my colleagues. Gods, I don't know. The farms, the community, my research, they all depend on animancy. But the Dream Scourge is the end of animancy, the end of the living lands as we know it. We should leave this place and its memories. There's nothing more for us here.
Finding a secret entrance and discovering a new god. Not bad for a day's work.
Stop! The trees splinter, the rice turns black. The pain! The pain! They trample the farmlands, they tear down the gates.
I lost you for a second there. Something the matter? Oh no. Let's go. You take the lead.
Come on, there's a way up those stairs.
There is such a thing as learning too much. The mortal mind can only take... Oh my god! No!
Andres Debs. This was no accident.
What happened? Who did this? It's all gone. The city. My home. Damn it. We have to check on the others. At least let me find Quilici. Any survivors would have evacuated to the farms north of town. Come. There's not a moment to waste.
A city up in flames? You tell me who your coin is on.
I can't believe this. What you smell is the workshop going up in flames. Our books, our chemicals, our machines. Many of those inventions were originals from the Valian republics. One of a kind, irreplaceable. I don't know why I'm dwelling on that. We lost more than our work.
Your work was your home. You're allowed to mourn it.
They burn! They blind us!
I hope everyone is all right. Animancers know how to plan for an emergency. We've never seen one like this. If anything happened to Quilici, I don't know what I'd do.
Let's get to the farms. If there's trouble, we can help.
Again and again they strike!
There's the city. What's left of it. Gods, who could do this to us? Who could burn us out like rats and call it a victory? Motherfuckers. I don't know how we recover. Our past is in those flames. Our history. Everything we are.
Not as long as there are people who remember it.
How many thorns must we claw out?
Look, they made it out. Oh, thank the gods. Thank the gods. These people are looking for leadership, a sense of direction. We should find Quilici. We've got better things to do.
Envoy? Oh, thank goodness. For a moment there, I thought we'd lost you in the attack.
As if you don't already know.
Ignacy, calm yourself.
Why should I be calm? His people burned my city.
The Steel Garrote are hardly his people.
They offered us no negotiation, no peaceful terms. Just flames and laughter as we ran. Don't be naive. Anyone who serves under an Adiran banner is complicit. Your Inquisitor is determined to burn out anyone who doesn't conform to Adiran ways.
We agree on one thing. The Steel Garrote have declared war on the Living Lands.
That sort of thinking is precisely why my father fled the Valian republics.
What happened here is no coincidence. Their forces already have an unshakable grip on Paradis. This attack was meant to weaken us. No doubt they will circle back to finish what they started. Tell us, what of your research into the Dream Scourge? Assuming our governor wants to hear it.
I may have spoken in haste before.
Pardon?
The very notion that the Dream Scourge had blighted our farms, it was too awful to acknowledge.
Are you being serious right now?
I am. The sanctuary my family built was falling apart on my watch, and I wasn't strong enough to bear it. You must understand. My mother had the Dream Scourge. I hoped against reason that she might recover, but her mind grew as blighted as our lands. To face reality would mean upending my city, throwing order into chaos, and admitting she was truly gone. I'm so sorry, Giata.
Don't waste your apologies on me. This changes nothing between us.
I don't expect your forgiveness, but I will do everything in my power to make this right. Whatever you have to say, I'm ready to hear it.
You want me to do the talking? Very well. The evidence is clear. The Living Lands is on the edge of an ecological disaster, both physically and spiritually. We may know the origin of the Dream Scourge. By following it back to the source, perhaps we can reverse the damage. Now for the bad news. An undiscovered god rests in the heart of this island. Until we know more about its nature, we are powerless to stop it.
But this is madness. When I said I was ready for the truth, I didn't mean... Quilici, tell him it's madness.
Envoy, is it true?
There's no other explanation for the spiritual shift in the living lands. Something that slept has awoken. I believe there is still more to learn, but a disturbance on this scale could explain the changes to our ecosystem.
First the Dream Scourge, then the Steel Garrote, and now... what does this god of yours want us to do? Pray?
This is no time for a theological discussion. Our survival hangs on a knife's edge. We can't remain in Emerald Stair.
There is no reason to stay, unless you count picking through the ashes. We should relocate to Thirdborn. It's the only settlement that can take us all.
No. I say we go to Paradise. Exactly. As long as we are Animancers, the Adherents will pursue us to the ends of the earth. Instead, we lay low, hide in plain sight, let them believe we're beaten, and bide our time.
While we hide, the Dream Scourge will tear this island apart. At least in Thirdborn, we can practice animancy freely. We can't gamble with our existence. The political climate of the Living Lands is too dangerous. We'll be proud to lend our strength to theirs, as Animancers and as fellow expatriates.
I have my misgivings, but you helped my father leave the Republics. I trust you to help us again. What of you, Envoy? Where does the hunt for the Dream Scourge take you next?
Oh, I do.
Yardsley? Don't tell me you are getting swept up in all of this.
Oh, really? You should know better, darling. Any talk of the Akita, and I will appear. If you're looking for the garden, I can probably lead the way. You're already aware that I'm the foremost Akitan scholar in the Living Lands, and...
Godless scholar, my dear. No one outside of academia uses their proper name.
Ah, right. Layman's terms. Thank you, darling. Well, to make a long story short, I think I can lead you to the garden. 30 years of research, and I think the answer lies in a ruin called Naku Kubel, which is in Shatterscarp. So we've got to get there now. Before Fiora went up in flames, that Garrote monster took my research. Your kin are on their way to the garden now. Wait. If they know as much as we do, they know to go to Shatterscarp too. Oh no. I've got to warn Temerity. Meet me in Thirdborn, all right? You can't miss it. It's the only bit of civilization in Shatterscarp, if you can call it that. I'll finish getting ready here and just meet you there.
Ugh, what a whirlwind. God, I love that tiny woman. I would be surprised if your journey were that uncomplicated, but... stranger things have happened.
For what it's worth, I vouch for Yardsley. She's a good friend, and a bad influence. Right now, we could use both.
There's a gate to the north, which will take you to Shatterscarp. It's guarded by some of our best rangers.
Then we should approach carefully. They'll be on their guard after this.
I'll make sure they grant you safe passage. May the gods protect you, Envoy.
Exploring the Living Lands with a friend. What more could I ask for?
Back to Shatterscarp, then.
Seems like a lifetime ago I was worried about the harvest. Now look at us.
Can you believe it? One day, those Stilgarot pigs will pay for their crime. As will the rest of the adherents. Though, not you, godlike. You are one of the better ones, or so I'm told. Now, to business. Are you here to collect the bounty? Then why are you here? Come back when you have some good news.